Hey, Wildcats, let me ask you a question. Do you have a friend, maybe your best friend, who you think is so amazing and wonderful, but you know other people who aren't as fond of them and don't think so highly of them? Why is that? Why is somebody that you think is so great, somebody else doesn't think the same thing? Well, let's take Taylor Swift for an example. Some of you out there are going to think that she's the most amazing singer and songwriter you've ever come across. Well, there's a whole lot of ex boyfriends out there who think she's the worst thing since sliced bread. So, you know, what's the difference? Why do you think Taylor is so amazing and her boyfriends think she's rotten to the core? It's your personal bias. It's how you interpret the actions, behavior, and character of a person, and you weigh them out and you think, well, I know that maybe she writes songs about her boyfriends and isn't really nice to them, but they're such great songs and I love listening to them. So she's really good. Because that's how you weigh the evidence. And that's what I'm asking you to do with this assignment, is to weigh the evidence you've been presented about Andrew Jackson and make a decision. Is he a good man or is he not a good man? And this is something that you're going to do about people throughout your life. This is also something that, as the person becomes more famous or more impactful in lives, that you find really polarizing opinions. And polarizing means very opposite. There's no middle ground there. Well, he's not a bad guy, or yeah, I could hang around with her. Yeah, but there's none of that. There's, I love them, they're the best, or oh, they're the worst, I hate them, boo. So there are very few people in history who are absolutely locked in stone as something good or bad, and there's nothing anybody can say to redeem them. They just did something that cemented them as really wonderful or really horrific, and there's no polarization on them. They're considered by everybody almost universally one or the other. But that's a very few people. Most are going to be like Andrew Jackson. Some people love him and think he's the best president ever. Then there's an equal amount of people who think he's the worst president ever. This is your chance to weigh the evidence that you've been presented by the video and what you've read. And now is your time to tell me what you think. So I am really looking forward to seeing the arguments you present for why Andrew Jackson was a good man or not a good man. So think about it, write it down, and have a fantastic afternoon.